Now, as largely expected in a country marching towards a crucial presidential election, the political field in Nigeria has been thrown wide open to politicians who will dare to compete. And one of these politicians is the former lawmaker Dino. Melaye is no stranger to the inner workings of politics in Nigeria. In 2023, he ran for governor of Kogi State. He also threw his considerable political weight behind the PDP presidential candidate that year, Atiku Abubakar. Like Atiku, Melaye has now left the People's Democratic Party PDP, underscoring the crisis happening within the party. He's now aligned himself with the growing opposition party, the African Democratic Congress ADC. As an outspoken and vocal critic of the Tinubu government, he has raised several concerns about the hardship Nigerians are facing and the worsening economy. Well, joining me now in the studio is lawyer, former lawmaker representing Kogi West and former Kogi State governorship candidate, Senator Dino Melaye. Senator, glad to have you join me on Arise Prime Time.
Yeah, good evening, and good evening, Nigerians.
I can't help but ask you which one you really are, politician, activist, MC. By the way, were you paid for your introduction of P2B at that ADC event? Let's start with that. Maybe you could give me some of the dollars you were paid on Naira, is it?
It's a pro bono service.
Pro bono, all right. Yeah. So what has been happening to you? Been quiet?
Yeah, I was in school, and I needed to be quiet because this is Nigeria. I didn't want Nigeria to happen to me. So
I don't know what that means.
For that period, I needed to go under the radar to make sure that at least I'm allowed to graduate.
And you have graduated?
And not just graduated, I've been called to the most successful bar in Africa, the largest bar in Africa.
It's right,
it's
right to say congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Now, you left PDP citing the party's inability, according to you, to provide credible leadership and deliver good governance to Nigerians. Now, PDP seems to be getting a grip. Would you do an about turn, as some of your colleagues in the PDP have done, and find your way back to PDP? Or what are your plans going forward?
Yeah, apart from our Lord Jesus Christ, no dead can rise again. And I want to tell you that whatever you are saying is makeshift.
In PDP?
The dead is dead. We can only advertise the obituary.
You're not saying PDP is dead. I mean, is that what you're saying?
Dead and buried. PDP was sold, and I'm not sure if they got the receipt of payment, but it was sold. And what you have now is APC-controlled PDP.
Why do you say that?
Because that is what it is.
How?
That is what it is.
How?
It is a party that is being controlled from the villa. I've said that in my last interview, that as far as we're concerned, it is the agents of the APC that control the PDP. And I would not really want this meeting and discussion this evening to be about the PDP. Let's talk about the living.
No, you can't dodge talking about PDP, because as far as they're concerned, they're, what do you call it?
Allow the dead to bury their dead. Allow the dead to bury their dead.
I had some of them here on the program, yes. And I repeated what Makinde said. Makinde said, let's have a party first, you know, like it was there. And they said, no. So now they have.
So if a sitting governor is saying, let's have a party first.
No, he explained that.
So meaning that there's no party.
No, he explained that.
So I want to appeal to you.
He said
there are critical issues bedeviling this country. There are issues of hunger out there. There are issues of malnutrition out there. There are issues of misgovernance, maladministration out there. Those are the issues I think we should discuss. PDP is a political party. I'm not a member anymore.
And you're not going back.
I mean...
So where are you now? Are you, after the introduction, are you with the ADC?
I'm a proud member of the ADC.
And you think ADC...
And that is the party that will unseat Tinubu and by the grace of God, send APC out of the villa come May 29th, by the grace of God, 2027.
But that's not what the just concluded elections, by-elections, are speaking. APC was still winning 12 out of 16, and then in Rivers State...
There was no election. That was not election. But I want to assure you that the 2027 election will not go that way. Nigerians are wiser. Like the Boy Scouts, we are more prepared. And I want to tell you that we will defend our votes this time.
How?
Leave that to time and season. But I'm assuring you that it is not going to be a tea party as usual. At all. It won't be. The APC came, they saw, they conquered at the time. But I want to tell you that 2027 will be a different story.
2027, a different story. Most of the parties, you'd agree with me, seem to be disorganized. You have the LP, even your party, the ADC, some of them who ran out of PDP have run back, who ran out of PDP, yes, into ADC, have run back into PDP.
Yeah, I don't know where you got your statistics from, but I want to tell you that on daily basis, we have people joining the ADC. As I speak, we have over 100 senators, former and serving, who are members of the ADC. And we have close to 400 members of the House of Representatives, former and serving, who are members of the ADC. We have dozens of former governors who are members of the ADC. And we are growing geometrically and otherwise.
APC has, what do you call it, majority now in the House.
No, I'm not talking, I said former and serving.
Former, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, former.
Yeah.
Former. But you know how politics is played in Nigeria. Former, what clout do they have compared to those who are currently in the House and in the Senate?
It depends on your hold on your constituency. Many serving members of the National Assembly actually hold their allegiance to some former members of the National Assembly. I can tell you that for free. And it's just, we are definitely in a precarious situation in the country. We have not seen anything like this before. The president committed a monumental error on his first day in Eagle Square, where he took his oath of office. Before even getting to the office to ask questions, he removed subsidy. And that is the reason we are where we are today. He did the right thing in the wrong way. He did the right thing, but in the wrong way.
What would have been the right way?
The right way would have been, what Tinubu did is likened to a surgeon who performed a very successful operation. Very successful operation, but the patient died. He had a very successful operation, but the patient died.
If he was successful...
So what I'm saying in essence is that removal of subsidy is the right thing to do. But when? How? Matters. He removed subsidy without planning. And when you are going to organize a surgery on any patient, one, you prepare the patient. Two, there are precautionary measures that you must put in place. At times, you even have to ask the patient to take water. At times, you need to say, okay, eat. At times, you need to say, okay, let's place you on some medications. At times, you say, okay, let us sedate the patient. Then there's also room for recovery immediately after surgery. But to just take a patient to the surgery room, butcher this patient, and at the end of the day, the patient will not survive. That is exactly what Tinubu did. There was no planning. There was no succor. There were no buffers. No ameliorative measures. He's even yet to get to office. He has not even gotten to office to even see what inside the office of the president looks like, or take brief on subsidy directly from those who know. Without, just unceremoniously. Even before you get to your office, you commit that kind of, and that is what created the chaos we are facing today. And today, Nigerians are not only unhappy, but I can tell you, I'm a grassroots person, that there is massive hunger in the land.
The president just said the other day that from January to August 2025, total collections reached, that the administration has achieved their revenue target. That's something to smile about. It says from January to, let me land. From January to August 2025, total collections reached 20.59 trillion naira, a 40.5% increase from 14.6 trillion recorded in 2024.
If that statistic is correct, why is the president borrowing 1.7 billion from World Bank?
He also said that they have stopped borrowing.
Maybe that is not correct. I just gave you that figure now. Why is the president? Why did he borrow 1.7 billion dollars from the World Bank? Why, as the Senate approved 21 billion dollars so far, and with many others coming for consideration? Many others are still coming for consideration.
Mind you,
and this government is one of the most reckless governments in the history of this country.
How do you mean?
The president who said he wanted to come and curb wastages bought a yacht. That yacht that the president bought has never been to the perimeter, territorial area of Nigeria. It's between Monaco and Paris. And what do we need a yacht for? In a time of austerity, in a time of pervasive hunger like this? The president also, within few months in office, bought a presidential jet that cost Nigeria billions.
No, he said it was a gift.
I am telling you that it was purchased. Gift by who? Gifts are to be declared. Gifts are to be declared. A president who gets a gift, why was Tom David West removed from office? It was because he got a gift of a gold wristwatch that was not declared. If you have a gift, declare who gave it to you. And they called it a gift because the money used in the purchase of that aircraft was not appropriated by the National Assembly. That is why it was tagged a gift. Then again, since Tafawa Balewa, Azikiwe, up down to Buhari, every president and prime minister in this country used Mercedes-Benz S-Class as their official vehicle. The president is using a bomb jammer Mercedes-Benz, the same type that Trump is using in America. And you say you want to curb wastages?
But you're not different. Hold on, Dino.
If you allow me land,
hold on.
I don't want my thoughts distorted on this particular line.
Okay.
And again, the same president, in the 8th Senate, the budget of the National Assembly was 150 billion. From 150 billion, today the president have increased the budget of the National Assembly to over 370 billion in order to make them a parastatal or department of the villa. So a president who said he was coming to curb wastages, who said he was coming to renew hope. I can catalog all this. Bought a yacht, bought a Cadillac, bought an aircraft, increased the money of the National Assembly, and I've borrowed like no other president in history. If you are making more money, then why are you borrowing?
Well,
to the extent that the Speaker of the House of Representatives today,
I read it. He was
is also concerned, despite he's a member of the APC.
I read that he was talking about
and
how
we will not be surprised if the president starts borrowing from Opay, and Moniepoint very soon.
Well, Senator Dino, if you say the president was buying cars, some people will question you too, because I mean, it's all over the viral.
I am not buying cars with government money. And I did not buy any of those cars when in office. And I've never been in a position where I control government money or interest. I've never been in the executive arm of government where I have control or I have budget or I have interest. And I've never done government contracts, whether at federal or state level. I'm saying this boldly. I've never been invited by EFCC or ICPC or any government security agency for corruption or for mismanagement or whatever. So what I'm saying in essence, in order not to trivialize the issues, is that we cannot continue like this as a nation. As I speak to you, one of the fundamental errors we have committed as a people is that this government particularly is insensitive. We voted for a government that does not care for the people, that is not concerned about the people. Go out there and see the magnitude of killings going on. Go out there and see people dying of malnutrition. Go there and see poor people paying ransom for family members being kidnapped on a daily basis. Go out there and see what the economy is doing to the people.
Let me comment here.
And all this money is borrowed, my brother. All this money is borrowed. No roads, no food, no housing. No housing. Agriculture, there's a decline. So, transportation, babu.
You talked about...
Babu. So, what is this money we are borrowing? What are we doing with it?
You talked about insecurity. There's a talk. I mean, I had the DDG National Elders Forum here, who said they presented they took 9 months to present a long, short, medium-term document on security issues, asking the president to declare the nation a national emergency on security. One of the things we discussed is that some people may be using the insecurity to fight the government. What do you make of that? Politics, playing politics with insecurity.
The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. We didn't vote him to make excuses like you are trying to make for him now.
I'm not making excuses for him.
We voted him to prove capacity. He was voted to protect Nigeria and Nigerians. And anything short of that is incapacitation. Anything short of that is wearing a shoe that is bigger than his legs. Anything short of that is proving that Nigeria is not Lagos. And let me tell you this. Nigeria was listed by the Financial Action Task Force. We are on what they call the grey list today. And that is having a negative concomitant effect on the economy. Because any country that is on the grey list of FATF, definitely it will affect your direct foreign investment. It will affect your banking activities across the globe. So it is going to have a negative resultant effect on the economy. Nigeria and South Africa went into the grey list at the same time. South Africa carried out a lot of reforms. And today, they are out of the grey list. But Nigeria is still in the grey list. And the only way to get out of that grey list is for us to regulate things like our crypto. And we are undermining that. The crypto business annually in Nigeria is over 60 billion US dollars. Far larger than what you get from NNPC annually. But what did we do? And we have a man in SEC who is the current DG of SEC, who have a PhD in crypto. What are they doing to make sure that crypto is regulated? Instead, we cannot get delisted because several companies applied for license to regulate and run in the crypto business, including in renowned international, companies. But my brother, only 2 were allowed.
Let's bring this
And
down.
these 2, inadvertently, we have allegedly heard, belongs to the cronies of those in power.
Let's bring this down to, you're not in ADC. You're not in ADC yet.
Spirit, soul, and body.
Oh, well.
A
because
registered member.
You were shaking your head. I was wondering what
Registered member. I want to make sure you're not pronouncing the evil name.
So, there's a school of thought that believe what you have in ADC, same of same. So are you saying ADC is going to correct all the ills you're pointing at that the present government is doing?
ADC is an assembly of repentant, aggrieved, you understand, concerned Nigerians. And at this point, every notable member of the ADC is ready to make sacrifice so that we can repurchase Nigerians from these criminals in power, the CIPs. There's a need for us to repurchase our country back. There's a need to get our country back on track. Because as I speak...
And you think ADC is well positioned to do that?
Very, very well positioned. There is a political tsunami that is coming.
Listen to what Iradia said. Iradia.
Tony Iradia, great man.
He says that politicians like you, ADC, APC, LP, and the rest of them, have left governance or are more interested in politics than actually governing. And that's why we're witnessing the rot in the system.
He may be right to some extent. But I want to tell you, if you carry out a comparative analysis, during the Jonathan administration...
Did I hear you correctly when you said criminals in power?
Yes.
No, we can't begin to say that on air. We can't begin to say, let's not be...
Who is a criminal?
A criminal is somebody who goes against the law.
That is exactly what this government is doing.
No, let's not... You can use any word, but at least not criminals.
Anyway, that is not the question. In answering your question, if I get you right, Iradia, I said maybe right to some extent depending on who is involved. For example, during the Jonathan administration, our GDP, you understand, rose to over 470 billion US dollars. And it was so up to 2002.
That's PDP then.
I'm saying it was so up to 2002. Today, as I speak, is about half, 200 plus. It's about half of what it used to be, the GDP, in dollars. In dollars. What do you think is responsible?
But you know there's an economic downturn across the entire globe. You know that.
We should stop giving these excuses. There's economic downturn across the globe.
You know.
Singapore is thriving. Rwanda is thriving. Ghana is thriving. Our immediate neighbor in West Africa. They're thriving. And you want to continue to hang on the wild wind of the Buhari administration or the negatives of the Buhari administration that is now a primary school child compared to the university graduates we're experiencing right now. So in essence, my brother, you are a Nigerian. You go to the same market. Sitting here, using your celestial mind, your holy mind, you know what you are feeling as a result of the kiosk created on the 29th of May, 2023. That kiosk, doing the right thing in the wrong way, suffering from verbal diarrhea, and declaring the removal of subsidy without thinking, without rationalizing, without buffers, is the reason we are where we are today.
You know, someone said that it's easy to talk the talk. That criticism is very easy. And that's what the opposition does. But they don't give you plans or plans of action how to get a problem solved.
I've given you one just now. That's not true.
That ADC has.
No, I've just given you one now.
Which
one of the problem we have is that we are on the grey list. We're on the grey list.
You're talking about crypto, right?
Of the Financial Action Task Force. And to get us out of it, one of the things to do is to regulate crypto. Second thing to do is for the government to become sacrificious. Sell the yachts. Reduce unnecessary spendings.
By the way,
in the last 1 year, the president has spent over 20 billion on foreign travels. In a country where people are looking for gari to drink. In a country where people are dying, they can't pay 1,000 naira high blood pressure drugs.
Well, the president,
where diabetic patients cannot take their drugs.
Well, the president says the reason for his travels is for foreign investments, FDIs.
Foreign investments every month, every week. What is the result of all the travel? Where are the investments? I'm telling you that countries will not invest when your name is on the grey list. What are you doing to get yourself out of the grey list? Companies are supposed to be licensed to market, to regulate, or rather to operate in the crypto market. So that you can trace anybody who is in that business because it's regulated. But today, criminals, terrorists, kidnappers, foreigners are using crypto to promote their illicit activities.
Let's get back to politics. The PDP eventually has zoned its presidential slot to the south. ADC, or let me ask you straight out. I know how you, introduced Obi.
I did not just introduce Obi, I introduced everybody that day.
No, his own was special.
Everyone got a special treatment.
What's his name? Wike says that bringing Obi back into PDP fold will kill the party. What's your stance on maybe ADC having a southern candidate like Obi, or are you going to support Atiku Abubakar, who he supported in the past?
Anyway, I will just answer you straight.
Yeah.
We are trying to build a platform that will help us to heal the evil in the land. We are trying to build a platform that will restore unity in this country. We are trying to build a platform that will revibrate the confidence of Nigerians in Nigeria. We are trying to bring back our long-lost reputation as a country. To me, as an individual, that is the singular effort and projects ahead of me now.
Yeah.
The issue of South or North, I will not go into that discussion. We need a platform, we need a vehicle to restore Nigeria back. Today, this country has never been as divisive as it is today. Some people are talking about Yorubanization of Nigeria. And I said, no, you can't even be talking about Yorubanization of Nigeria because I know a lot of my brothers who, maybe you can be talking about Lagosization of Nigeria. In the past, it was not this bad. So what the ADC need to do is to rebuild the confidence of Nigeria in Nigerians and bring back our motto, unity, faith, that peace. You need a party that will not be, that will be sacrificial.
But you still have not answered the question.
Which is?
Is ADC going south or north? Are you supporting Atiku?
ADC is yet to sit. PDP sat and decided.
Yeah.
We are yet to sit to decide where the presidency is going. But I'm telling you that as an individual, that will not preoccupy my mind for now. What we need now is for all of us to build first a platform. We don't want to commit the error of Tinubu hesitantly removing subsidy when ameliorations have not been.
You get back. You love this subsidy.
No. It's the reason where we are.
I'm sure you.
It's the reason diesel went up. It's the reason why transportation went up. It's the reason why price of gari and rice went up.
Good. I'm sure you've heard the talk about Jonathan coming back or not coming back, and Keyamo talking about Obi. That the people that will support him if he wants to play second fiddle to Atiku, he called them ASU. I think he said something like, how did he describe that ASU? He said, just give me a moment there. Well, I don't seem to be able to get it now, but he described them as ASU. The only people that will support him are people he called ASU, that if PDP makes the mistake of bringing Jonathan back on board, that they stand going against the Constitution. But Jonathan says he's unstoppable. Some argue that he won't go against the Constitution. What do you make of that?
Anyway, I'm not going to comment on that because it's a PDP discussion.
Thing, okay.
And I'm not a member of the PDP. And for Jonathan, I'm not one of his SAs. So I can't speak for him. But all I will tell you is that ADC will produce a candidate that will be the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
What about
by the grace of God, May 27th, 2027.
What about a talk on one-party state?
That's what we have now, and that's what we are fighting. That's what APC is trying to do. The problem in labor is orchestrated by the APC. The problem, excuse me, in PDP is orchestrated by the APC.
Without evidence.
There's a lot of evidence.
What you're saying is without evidence.
There's a lot of evidence. A lot of evidence. I've said it on different platforms. When you see PDP governors declaring support for APC, and you see prominent PDP members saying, for example, that if we can tolerate Buhari for 8 years, we should tolerate Tinubu for another 4 years. And that's a member of the board of trustees of PDP saying that. So I have plethora of examples to give. So I am telling you that PDP is already purchased. Let's not talk about, I'm saying let's talk about the party that is alive. The party that will help to bring food back to your table.
And that's
the party that will give your naira value. And the party that will not compromise your living and your existence as a person.
And for you, that is ADC.
For us, it is ADC.
We'll watch and see how that plays out. Are you contesting for governorship, just on a last note?
Like I said, honestly speaking, it is time to make sacrifice.
All right.
I'm not talking of contesting anything now. Let us build a veritable, strong, reliable party that will help to chase APC out of power.
All right, Senator Dino Melaye, thank you for being on All Right's Prime Time.
The pleasure is always mine. Thank you.